Welcome, Nerd Nation. I'm Josh, and I welcome you to the podcast. Welcome to a brand new podcast series that we're starting with my daughters, Aurora, Giselle, and Liliana. And we are naming this podcast Musical Madness. They have wanted to do a musical podcast for quite some time. Believe it or not, I like musicals, and so do they. They love it. And going forward, these will be my co-stars to the podcast, where we will watch a musical and then we'll come and talk about it with you, about what we liked about it and what we didn't. This week's Musical Madness pick was Hairspray. And let's talk about that. Girls, what'd you think about Hairspray when we watched it?
Amazing as always.
I mean, we've seen it so many times. Over the past 7 to 9 years, we've seen it so many times.
We've gone through 2 discs.
The first one got so scratched just on one song that we couldn't watch it anymore.
That's how much we like it.
So what'd you like about, what are your favorite parts about the movie when we watched it this last time?
Zac Efron.
That's what I was going to say too.
Zac Efron?
I mean, that's pretty much why we wore out the first disc, was just the Without Love song and scene mainly has Zac Efron. So with us watching that, we would replay it to the point where it's scratched on that point and would just skip over it completely. No other point really. Just that one.
Yeah, I think Zac Efron's pretty hot too. And stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think we need to debate that at all. And stuff. So what draws all you guys to this movie? I'll tell you what, I know what draws me to this movie. This, after watching it, this is the first time I've actually watched it all the way through. With you guys liking it and all that much. And the one thing I think I drew it to me is, dang, the music is good.
It is so good.
It's so good.
One of the best.
Holy moly, some of those dance scenes are just phenomenal. I can't believe how good the dancing is. I can't believe how good the music is.
And acting is really good too.
Yeah.
Acting's amazing.
So what's your guys' favorite parts of say the music? What's their favorite songs? Since you guys are this is my first time really watching it all the way through. I've watched the old Hairspray with Ricky Lake a few times, but this one I really like as well. And so what was your favorite parts, including John Travolta?
Including John Travolta.
I'll be honest, I don't know you guys, but he was kind of a surprise to me.
Amazing.
He was quite the surprise to me, and I don't know what to say about it. He's, no, he didn't come off as a total woman, but
I think that's the point.
Really
Broadway.
I think that's the point. I don't think he's supposed to be totally feminine. I don't think
the mom's totally feminine.
But I mean, he's John Travolta.
Well, she just comes off as kind of more masculine anyway.
Yeah.
As the mom.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I mean,
A super horny masculine mom.
Yeah. That's how you sum it up.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite part is not even in the movie. One of the best songs in it is not in the movie. It's a split second, but it's, of course, sang by Zac Efron. But that's not the point. That's not the reason why it's good. It's just the song's good. The lyrics are good. Zac Efron. The singing's good.
One of my favorites.
I think there's this thread I'm seeing of Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
One of my favorites is You're Timeless to Me, because
I was going to mention that too.
Yeah, I love the music, and the acting is just kind of funny.
The scene is almost trippy in a way that I didn't originally like it. When I was younger, I hated that
scene. You'd always
scene.
skip over it.
To all you guys who don't know this scene, all right, if this is maybe your first time to Hairspray or whatever, this scene, the parents, which are John Travolta and Christopher Walken, and he is basically singing to his wife, and they're like dancing together, and it's more about like how they're pointing out each other's flaws
and how they're getting old, but how that's okay, and they love each other through all of those things. You're timeless to me, even though you're getting old and fat.
And does that mean I'm timeless? I'm just wondering.
Fat and old, baby, born you ain't.
But the scene, just they randomly are dancing around. They end up being tango. They end up doing a tango, and they end up doing so much weird stuff. But the scene is comical. It's funny, and the song's really good.
It's really good.
Both of their singings together, and just the way that they collaborate,
it's amazing.
Really mixes together.
You know, the one thing I really liked about this movie too, I mean, I think that the timeless, the scenes are good, the dancing's good. I love the 50s vibe. Is it 50s or 60s?
60s.
60s.
Early 60s.
Early 60s. Well, and I should have known that, because a big part of this movie that is really, I think, a wonderful thing about this movie, it's about racial integration. And how everybody is the same. I mean, what do you guys think about that part? Like, how would you explain that part if you were to,
I mean,
telling somebody about it?
There's multiple big themes, and that's one of the biggest that the show, the Corny Collins show, they're only allowed like one day for like a while to dance, and the other times they're not allowed. Even though they're a different
skin color, they're just as amazing as dancers.
And so then with that main character, Tracy, it's like, that's wrong. We need to change that. And so the idea of everyone being equal no matter what.
And I think the thing is equality. We're all equal, right? Mm-hmm. No matter if we're, different colors of skin, fat, short, I mean, look at Tracy. I mean, that's
another big theme, is that she's plus size. And so when she first tries out, they don't want her just because she's all for integration and she's plus size.
She's a bigger girl.
So one of the biggest themes for it is figuring out that you don't need to be the Barbie doll size, that you can just be who you are, which is a big thing for girls, for boys, for everyone.
Yeah, one of the big things that like overarching like throughout the entire thing is just the theme of different being okay. Mm-hmm. Kind of like different being beautiful. Like there's nothing wrong with being different and all that. Like one of my favorite parts of this whole musical is the whole arc that they have with the civil rights movement and all of that sort of stuff. Like showing that there are differences in the cultures between the white society and the black society, but they merge together and they work together and work beautiful together. I think like the way that it points out that there are differences, but that they work together and that's okay, is one of my favorite parts of this musical.
I agree. I think they show that really well when the main character Tracy, she gets sent to detention, and she meets up. I mean, this is during the time where they were doing integration into schools, but really weren't truly integrated. Clearly, all the black kids were always in detention. Mm-hmm. That's where Tracy meets him, is in detention, and she goes down there not knowing what really detention is, and she finds all these people, and she's instantly mesmerized, not by the color of their skin,
but by the way they dance.
But by the way they dance. And that just like speaks volumes to me that, she didn't see that. She didn't see that difference. When the whole world in itself was seeing that, she saw the one thing that they were all united in, and that was dance. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's one of the big themes of this is, just because we're different doesn't mean we can't be the same in many ways too. We can have a unifying theme amongst us. And if that theme is being a nerd, or science fiction or books or art or dancing, singing. It doesn't matter because we all have these interests and we're all the same and stuff. It doesn't matter what color skin is. And I think Hairspray speaks volumes about this. And I think it's a really good film speaking to the people out there that need to, see that we're all God's children. We really are. And even though we might differ, heck, I'm different from a white guy on the other side of the United States. And you know what? We're all different, no matter if we're white, black, red, white, blue, whatever color we are. In our hearts, we are people.
And Zac Efron.
Is he different? Is he like his own? Is he like his
Zac
own
Efron
thing?
his own entity? I didn't realize. I thought he was off. I just thought he was off.
That point is definitely made with. There's one song. It's "Big, Blonde, and Beautiful," which is sang by Motormouth Maybelle or Queen Latifah. That really shows that
she played a good part. By the way.
She's
so
great.
good.
I love Motormouth
She's
Maybelle.
the best Motormouth Maybelle.
She was awesome.
That it's mostly, or it's saying that all people are welcome. Like one of my favorite lines at the end is saying that people at that time were saying that white and skinny and all those things were considered beautiful, but being plus size, being black, being yourself is beautiful, and you don't need to change for anyone. And that just changing ruins your beauty. That you are beautiful as you are. And there's no way, or you can change it, but you don't need to.
You're beautiful anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful anyway. And one thing that, a lot of people talk about also is, that you clearly see in this movie also is that, when people, it was really interesting. Look at Zac Efron at first, he was kind of a little hesitant about, integrating with the black people. And you could, and that's, I look at that as like a lot of, society still in this day, they're still iffy about that and they shouldn't be. And stuff. I have so many friends of different colors of skin and they are all beautiful people inside and out. And that just shows that the more and more that we interact with each other as races and as cultures, the more and more I think it's easier to accept each other, and to grow with each other and stuff. What else did you guys like about this movie? What else is the thing that you like that's kind of sticks out in your mind?
Kind of going off of what you were saying about Zac Efron, like one of the things that I've talked about a lot with this movie is how much I love Zac Efron and like
He's
him
so
as Link,
good.
his character arc, the way that they wrote it. A lot of it was comparing because we had the opportunity to rewatch the most recent iteration of Hairspray Live this last summer, and kind of comparing the two and what we liked and we didn't like. And one thing that I noticed, that I didn't notice before, was how it was Link's character arc and how he changed over the whole thing, where he started off racist and he started off very much against integration and all of that sort of stuff. But then he kind of got exposed to Black culture through Tracy. Him kind of being more connected to Tracy through her getting on the show and them being friends. He started getting exposed to Black culture and realizing that they're a lot of fun and that they're not bad. And kind of seeing him slowly change his opinion as he learns more and all that sort of stuff. He was almost like ignorant to what was happening and going on because he just didn't know. He wasn't exposed to it. And then once he was exposed to it, he realized how wrong he was. And he changed immediately and he tried to become better. And all that sort of stuff, and trying to right his wrongs and all that, and make himself a better person, and all of that sort of stuff. And that kind of played into the whole discussion I had when comparing the two links between Hairspray Live and this Hairspray, was how much he changed and how cool that was, kind of showing that how that can change.
In this one, it's a gradual change. It happens over the course of the movie. In Hairspray Live, it's just at once. He's like, oh, these people are okay. Not oh, I can see their culture now. They're not bad, they're good. And then he learns to love them.
Mm-hmm.
When in that one, he's just, oh, I love these people. They're great in like 2 seconds.
It's a realistic development. It's a realistic development over time. Whereas as time goes on and he gets more exposed, he kind of changes slowly. Whereas what we were saying in Hairspray Live was that there's a scene where he immediately, like, something happens and he's immediately changed. Just day and night, immediately. And I like how it's realistic in the way that it shows that it's not an overnight thing. And there are still some points where Link is still like, I don't know if I should do this. You know, I'm not so sure about this. Showing it very realistic on how it happens with a lot of people and showing that it's not immediate, but showing that that's okay and that people can change over time if they are taught the right things and all of that sort of stuff.
And it's not easy.
No, it shows that it's not easy.
Yeah.
And how hard it is for him, but how he powers through it and how he becomes better.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to him at first to like be different than everybody's like that. Everything that society is talking to him about, and yet he sees that society isn't right. I mean, him, you know, especially when they like take Negro Day away. That was pretty hard on him and Tracy. And then he's, you know, all the things that he started seeing, all the differences and injustices that were happening, you know, to these people around him. And so, you know, and then him come to the realization of, you know, this isn't right at the very end. And I love that he comes to the realization that he had a really, really pretty girl. Brittany Snow, isn't that what her name is? And stuff, yeah. Yeah, the actress Brittany Snow. Amber in the show, yeah. And he had the pretty, like, crazy pretty girl. Like
the Barbie doll.
Barbie doll, pretty girl.
Barbie doll, blonde, skinny, you know,
constantly
total.
Wearing the prettiest dresses.
But she was ugly inside.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ugly inside.
Yeah. She was on there
Terrible
because
person.
her mom, she couldn't dance. She was there just because her mom was awful.
By the way, Michelle Pfeiffer plays a great part.
She's so good.
She is so good as the bad person. Because I've seen her in so many good movies where she is the good person, and she plays a bad guy really good.
She makes it easy to hate her, and she makes it so easy to hate her, and that's awesome.
I agree with that.
And her singing is also really good too.
Yeah, she's awesome in that, but like she makes it so easy to hate her, and I think that that's one of the good, like, the things that she does well is making it so that you do hate her and all of that from the beginning.
Dude, I just wanted to, like, you know, punch her like the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she played a good part, but boy, was she shallow, and so was her daughter shallow. And I loved how Zac Efron went from kind of this shallow guy also to really this guy who, again, we talked about how he's looking past differences of not just color, but he's also looking past differences of maybe not the exact perfect body type, which is a really cool thing that really hits hard with me. I've never been the exact perfect body type. Yeah. I'm a big guy. And, that really hits home with me that someone could love me and see who I am and not see what's on necessarily the outside. And I don't think the outside's bad at all and stuff like that. But, it's really, I can't tell you how many girls I really liked in my past that they weren't exactly knocked out, beautiful. They were pretty, but their beauty was enhanced by the person inside, even more so than, necessarily what was on the outside and stuff. So nobody has to be perfect, Everybody, and then I think Tracy is a perfect example of that. She's really cute though. She's really cute. But but she may not be everybody's perfect body type.
Zac Efron, best actor in the world.
And yet Zac Efron looked past that and he saw the beautiful person that was inside. Which is what we need more in this world. We need people to look past, maybe outside looks and look to the inside more often.
One part I like about it is even though they're talking about a lot of heavy stuff, the comedy aspect, how they still make it so funny.
Yeah.
And they make it easy to talk about some topics that can be hard to talk about and make it easy to kind of laugh along with it and get sucked in with so that you can get in there with the hard to talk about and like the hard things so we can have these discussions and all of that sort of stuff about like body positivity and racial things and all that. Like what I going out of the body positivity, that is one of the things I immediately loved about this movie. Like as I've gotten older, I kind of more appreciated the whole aspect of racial diversity and how it shows that everybody is equal. But what I really related to was the body positivity at first, because I've always been a big girl. That's always how I've been. And I love how it represents big girls in a positive way and shows that, like, we're beautiful too, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah, you are.
And they were as equal, and we deserve everything that a skinny girl can have, and how it kind of fights for those girls and shows, like, there's nothing wrong with them and they deserve love too, sort of thing. Like that was something that I just absolutely adored about this movie, first and foremost.
And Zac Efron.
You and Zac Efron, okay? You need to hold it. I'm talking about some deep, heartfelt stuff, and then you go on to talking about Zac Efron?
I mean, even like the actress who plays Tracy, Nikki Blonsky, she's also like that. In real life, she teaches the same stuff because she's still like that, and she's still amazing. And she's still
adorable.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness. She is so adorable and so beautiful.
That even shows that it wasn't just an act. She truly believes that, which is even more important.
You can tell she's genuine.
Yeah.
That she, not only was she acting that, but she is that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really important. I think it's really important.
I mean, like, she's such a good actress. Like, I'm blown away.
I'm shocked that she hasn't been in anymore.
I'm shocked that was her first role. That is what I'm shocked about.
That was her first role, and she's only in a few.
That was her first role, and then she was like in a few minor things. But like the fact that was her first role, and she did such an amazing job.
She was only like 16 or 17.
Away.
She needs to be in more things.
Yeah.
We need it, Nikki Blonsky. We need to see you, buddy. And stuff. Yeah. Get out there.
But. Yeah, she's awesome. She's an amazing actress. And she played her part really well and kind of definitely was the perfect person to kind of push that narrative and all of these different topics that are in this, like, encompassed in this movie.
I mean, another thing that is very much shown is her best friend Penny, her mom. How her mom is a complete control freak, and how
Penny
her mom
is played by Amanda Bynes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That her mom doesn't like Tracy, doesn't like the Corny Collins show, doesn't like, because she ends up with Mortimer Malcolm Abel's son, Seaweed, that she hates all of it. That she's very racist, she's very much against all of it. And it's shown in Penny that she doesn't believe that. That she knows that that's wrong, and so then she's doing everything she can to go against her mother because she knows it's very much wrong. And just the comedy of Penny and her being very clueless and naive almost, but also knowing everything that was going on was also funny, and it was very fun to see. Yes.
Yeah, she plays a good part and stuff. I would say all the main actors play a really good part. What is his name? Corky Collins? Corny Collins. Why can't I think of his name?
Like James Marsden.
James Marsden, man, you got it.
Yeah.
And stuff. He's a great part.
Yeah.
He's very accepting too the whole time, but he's getting told no the whole time by everybody.
He gets so much pushback. Like from the beginning, he's like,
what would be wrong with that? With having them integrated and all dancing together.
And then Amber's mom,
having a baby?
Mrs. Von Tussle,
hates
it.
Yeah, wasn't him that actually like helped Nikki Blonsky's character to Tracy to get like into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it him that saw, or was it Link?
Him and Link.
Him and Link both saw her dance, and they're like, "Come on down."
Yeah.
It was up the hop, which is another important place because it shows the segregation where they're not allowed to cross the line. So she takes Seaweed's dance, and that's the reason she gets on the show, is because they see how amazing of a dancer she is, and they immediately are like,
because she was doing
her.
Seaweed's dance, which was awesome, and she didn't want to steal it though.
Mm-mm.
She's like, "That's yours," and he's like, "Well, at least
it's yours for tonight.
It's yours for tonight to get it out there to show
what you can do,
but also show the world what they're doing." I think he's like living vicariously through her, in a sense,
and hoping that she'll eventually like get to the point where she can help fight for them to be equal. And all that
I think he already knew by that time that she was going to do that.
She was, if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be her. And so he was going to be like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this girl onto the show because she's going to help us get there as well because she's just that awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that very much.
But like Courtney Collins, like throughout the entire thing is always fighting for equality of all forms, like always fighting, like trying to get Negro Day to be like merged into all of it to get the black dancers onto the show. And it's Mrs. Von Tussle who's always pushing back, being like, "We don't want that. This is all
evil Michelle Pfeiffer.
This is an all white thing. Like, why do we need that? Like, they're evil." And he never stops fighting for that, even if he might put up a front to try and like make it seem like he's not. He's always fighting for that and helping them out along the way, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I agree very much. Okay, girls. Anything else you guys want to like bring to forth on Hairspray or talk about? If not, we'll get to the ratings and stuff. Anything else?
I mean, I just wanted to add this really fast.
Please. Go ahead.
One of the biggest things that happens in the show is also because of Link. They're integrated because he helps little Inez.
Oh, that is my favorite part.
That's one of the best parts because he was just dancing with Tracy and then he saw her and was like, "You need to get out there," because of Negro Day being banned. She wasn't able to dance. She wasn't able to be on there at all. So he's like, "You need to shoot your shot," and she ends up winning, which is one of the biggest parts because it's the reason that they are integrated.
And that's another thing that I've talked about, like with like the differences between Hairspray and Hairspray Live. And one of the things I didn't like about Hairspray Live
that little Inez
Inez didn't win. It was Tracy that won, and I think that it's a big part, like one of like the biggest admirable things about it is the fact that it's not that they are just like the black dancers are just given integration. She dances for it. She dances for the integration. They work for it. And all that sort of stuff. I think that that's really cool that she is given the title of was it the head dance
Miss Teenage
Hairspray, and she's the leader of everything. They work for their integration, and they're integrated because little Inez gets her moment and dances for it and all that sort of stuff. Whereas
she works
in Hairspray Live, it's Tracy, and it's just that she's like, "Okay, we're all integrated." I think it's a better story arc and gives more power to the black community in that no, she shows that we can dance, we're as good as anybody else, and I fought for this and I won.
Little Inez worked for other than Amber just getting it from her mom.
And she's adorable. She's
really
so
cute. Little Inez is adorable. I'm trying to think of anything else we want to talk about. What was your guys' favorite songs? I think we kind of touched on like the absolute favorite songs.
You're Timeless to Me. I really like that one.
I mean, one of my favorites is I Know Where I've Been. I like all of them, but that's one of my top ones.
I love that one.
Which is showing, it's a song that's all about the things that they've been through and they're fighting and
it's all about the fight for change.
Yeah. Their war that they were fighting that hadn't been won. And it still hasn't completely been won. but it's important showing that they know their history and that they're gonna fight for everything,
and they're not going to stop fighting, and just showing how determined they are to make fight for equality and all that sort of stuff.
It's a very emotional song.
It's powerful.
Queen Latifah singing it is beautiful. Amazing.
I like Big Blonde and Beautiful.
That's also one of my favorites. I forgot about that
Just
one.
Queen Latifah and Zac Efron.
I like any of the. I really like a lot of the musical scenes that there is on the Courtney Collins show and stuff. I really like the end part when
You Can't Stop the Beat.
You Can't Stop the Beat, the very end one where she comes down, where Tracy comes down
in her checkerboard.
She looks awesome in that thing.
I love the checkerboard dress.
The checkerboard dress. She looks hot in that thing, man. She really does. I mean, it's awesome, and she is so good at dancing, man. She is so good.
That entire scene with all the dancing, all the dancing is incredible, and it is just so much.
So, have you guys ever noticed this? I mean, I'm sure you have. I can't be the only one that noticed this, but it seems like everywhere that Tracy goes, she's always dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every time she hears music, she's dancing.
Girl after my own heart.
And I just thought that was kind of cool that she was always in motion the whole time, just showing how much she loves that.
I mean, that's another big thing that it shows in the beginning with Good Morning Baltimore, that she's talking about how she's just determined to dance.
Yeah.
But the scene's weird. I love the scene, but whenever I watch it by myself, I tend to skip over it. Even though I like the song,
that scene is.
I gotta say, her riding to there on the garbage to school on a garbage truck.
That scene is just hilarious.
It's great.
With her dancing with the rats, the bum on the street, the flasher in the street, her riding to school on a garbage truck. Just that entire scene is hilarious, and it's a perfect opener. Just to show how quirky it is, but also showing how it's setting up what Tracy is fighting for. Is fighting for to be accepted, for her to be accepted into social spheres,
for her to be able to dance.
But for her to be able to dance and all of that, because she's not accepted, and kind of setting up that theme of equality and all that sort of stuff. That's the perfect opener. My favorite song, one that it's kind of I don't know. I Can Hear the Bells. It's not.
You're a hopeless romantic.
I am. I relate to it a lot. It's just a song about her, the one touch from Link, and she's planning their wedding and planning their entire lives together, even after death and all that. And I relate to it so much. I think it's a cute song.
Everyone thinks she's crazy.
Everybody thinks she's crazy. I relate. But I think it's a cute song. It's fun to sing along to. It's funny.
If it makes you feel better, I did it when I was, your age too. I had crushes on girls, and I was just I always would go right to the, we're gonna get married and stuff like that. Trust me, it's not just girls that do that. Guys just don't normally admit it.
Yeah, I relate to it hardcore, and so it's funny. It's a funny scene too.
It's funny.
Her in the bathroom with her toilet paper veil and flowers and all of that.
That's pretty good.
And the bathroom scene with the girls smoking in the bathroom and the guys slicking their hair back.
We always would joke that because Link just randomly licks his hand
and then slicks his hair back.
Then she talks about them French kissing
the
at their
line
wedding.
is them planning their wedding. And my mom starts to cry, but I can't see because Link and I are French kissing, and we always the only thing he's French kissing is his hand because
he just licks his hand. Very
gross. But
not
that was
Corona safe.
Corona.
But it's just a funny scene, and I've always thought it was funny and related to it hardcore. That's my favorite song of it.
Right on. Right on. All right.
Radical, dude.
We ready for ratings? All right, Giselle, what'd you think? What would you give this movie?
Out of what?
You get to pick it.
I mean, the number.
This is a free-for-all.
I'd say 1,000 out of 10.
1,000 out of 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, it sets the bar kind of high for the other musicals, but I loved this one for so long that I'm gonna say that.
I probably have to go 1,001. I'll one up her.
How
Out
dare
of
you?
1,001 Ultra Clutch Hairspray cans out of 10.
Look at that.
That's a good one.
Mine is 1002 checkerboard chips.
That's what I
out
got
of
it
10.
too. I swear. We share like one brain cell.
Yep.
And me, I'm at 8 out of 10 dancing with a homeless guy. And stuff.
You do that.
I mean, that works for so many.
They need to
different-
dance too.
Mhm. Everyone needs to dance.
That's the theme of the movie. Everybody deserves to dance, even the homeless guy.
And
Even
rats.
the flash.
Even the rats are dancing around their feet. Even the rats deserve to dance.
Well, all right, guys. I think we had a wonderful podcast, and I think this was a good debut for Musical Madness podcast here at Josh's House of Nerd. And I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here at Josh's House of Nerd podcast. And to all of you, you may be excellent to each other and live long and prosper from all of us at Josh's House of Nerd. And watch out for more Musical Madness podcasts from us here at Josh's House of Nerd. Bye-bye.